Al Sharpton just went full ghetto with what he was caught doing to Ivanka. Al Sharpton proves, again, how illiterate he is, and the black people in America should be embarrassed. I've always thought Sharpton was barely literate and a functionally retarded opportunist who takes advantage of black people when they're down. But his stupidity is too damn high and it's really getting old. There has to be a better black person on this planet who can take over the role of Sharpton and provide an educated, literate, and more trusting role model than this degenerate tax-avoiding turd. Sharpton has recently criticized Ivanka Trump and her involvement on things directed by President Trump. Seriously folks, look at this. They say now she ain't got no title. She ain't got no role. We ain't payin' her no money. But she can see everything classified. This sets back education at least 1,000 years to the point where cavemen were mumbling fake words like ooga booga at each other and drawing hieroglyphic birds with their own fesses. Sharpton seriously sounds like he has the IQ of a beetle. Giving an office in the West Wing of Ivanka Trump. Somebody explain to me how you can give security clearance, access to classified material, and an office to somebody that don't have a title or job. Sharpton stated, how can you put an office in Ivanka Trump? I'll explain to this clown how someone can have security clearance. It's Trump's daughter. Access to classified material, such as an office for someone who doesn't have a job. Well, the White House is fairly large, so if Trump wants his daughter to have an office, then that's his right. Then, there is the hypocrisy. Al Sharpton was expressing his displeasure about Ivanka Trump's role in the White House at an event on Saturday morning. Sharpton restated a few ethics experts complaining about Ivanka Trump and her role in the White House. He especially was irritated about the reports that Ivanka Trump will get an office and security clearance in the West Wing. Al Sharpton should not speak about the ethics of anyone else unless he's paid his taxes in full and takes a few college courses on ethics. You can't criticize ethics when you don't really have any yourself. Sharpton's tax troubles are indicative of his own ethics. In 1993, he pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor for failing to file a state income tax return. The law bars nonprofits from making loans to officers, but he admitted that his National Action Network had once loaned him money to cover his daughter's tuition. In December 2005, Sharpton agreed to repay $100,000 in public funds he received for his 2004 presidential campaign. He had exceeded federal limits on personal expenditures for his campaign. He is ethically challenged. Sharpton is funny when he talks about jobs because we don't actually know what his job is. What is Al Sharpton's job? I'll explain that too. To me, his job is to rip off black people when they are at a time of suffering or facing hurdles. Sharpton swindles people out of money and doesn't pay taxes from what I know. If he does, then that would be news to me. Sharpton waits until something happens in the black community and then he sees that as an opportunity to make money by blabbering away like a blubbering idiot. If I was black and this guy showed up, seeking attention or money, then I would kick his wretched old self to the curb faster than he avoids taxes. There's no way I would want Al Sharpton to speak for me when he can barely speak. Have you ever heard him read? Al Sharpton can barely read from a teleprompter and he sounds horrible. If there's one thing that I know is true, it's that Al Sharpton and Maxine Waters should hook up. They would have the best talks and neither would know what the other says. They are both blabbering idiots and they could have a show together on MTV. It would be as bad as Teen Mom, a show that spotlights promiscuous teens having babies they can't afford. Kinda like the taxes Sharpton maybe can't afford, right? If Al Sharpton wants to talk about ethics, then he needs to do two things first. 1. Learn proper English. 2. Learn ethics.